Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day today. Today is another Project Pan update. So my last update I did while I was in Hawaii. I am back home now trying to get myself readjusted, and I have some exciting updates for you. Exciting as in I am going to be pulling in some more products. So I hope you guys are having a great day. If you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related, and I'd love it if you liked and subscribed if you aren't already. And with that being said, let's just hop into it. So if you guys have followed my Project Pan series for a bit here, you guys will know that I try to do my updates from least exciting to most exciting, and then if I ever do end up pulling in a new product, I will have that at the very end of the video. One thing I will say is that I did not finish any products that I currently have in my Project Pan, but I am going to pull in a couple of new products, mainly because before I left for Hawaii, I did finish some products and I didn't want to take those products with me while I was in Hawaii. But now that I'm back, I kind of want to roll in some new products, try and make use out of them. So we are going to do that as well. And then besides that, I just have a few updates for the products that I currently have in my Project Pan. Okay, so to be quite honest, I did not make a ton of progress on these products while I was in Hawaii, and I was in Hawaii for most of the month of August. So this update isn't going to be the most exciting, but I do want to go through everything and then show you guys the products that I'm going to be pulling in. The first thing I want to mention is the Refi Gloss Highlighter. I am still at the same spot that I was before. Like I said, I haven't really been using this a ton. Also, when I use the Refi Gloss Highlighter, I use the smallest amount, like barely anything, because I'm only using this in pinpointed areas of my face, namely like the high points of my face. And so when I squeeze this out, I try to squeeze out as little as I possibly can to cover those areas. I don't want to be wasting product, even though I am trying to use up the product. So not a ton of progress on this. I feel like I still have a little bit ways to go, but this is a little mini of the highlighter anyway, so I feel like I would still be able to finish this relatively soon, hopefully before the end of the year. That is my goal for this project, or for this product. I think if I can finish this by the end of December, beginning of January, I will call this good. I will be happy with the amount of progress I made, especially because highlighter is not something that you wear all over the face. I really only use a little bit of this for those pinpointed spots, like I said. So not a ton of progress on this, but I'm still working my way through it. I am hoping that this next month, when I'm back into my normal routine, I will get more use out of this. Something else that didn't get a ton of progress this last month is my Youthforia BYO blush oil. Honestly, when I was in Hawaii, I'm gonna keep saying this just because I was in Hawaii for pretty much all of August, and just like that was the main portion of when I was wearing makeup, when I was going into work every day, things like that. So when I was in Hawaii, honestly, I stopped using this because I was really into the Benefit Benetint. That has been such like a favorite this past month. I feel like the Benefit Benetint just gives me the perfect flush, like lip staining action, especially when I was out in the jungle outside in the hot sun all day. I feel like the Youthforia BYO blush oil would just like slide off my face immediately, whereas the Benefit Benetint lasted all day. So didn't use this a ton, really was focusing on the Benefit Benetint, and I loved the way that looked, and so I just did not use this. It's also getting really hard to scoop the product out, and along with that, there are a ton of like little glitter sparkles in here, glitter particles in here, like sparkles in here. And the shade of the product in here is just pink now. So I feel like the shade of this is also different than what it originally started off as, just because it is one of those like pH changing products. I feel like the shade just isn't the same, and I don't love the formula as much, especially because it is pretty wet. It doesn't really dry down that nicely. And when I was actively sweating, actively trying to, like work out in the sun, this wasn't really working for me. So not a ton of progress. I'm hoping that this next month I will try to make more. I'm not trying to scrape every single last use out of this, but I do want to try and make at least one more month of progress before calling it quits on this one. So not completely done yet, but we're gonna work on it this next month. The next product I have here is my Glossier Future Dew. This is an oil serum hybrid, and I feel like I've made really good progress on this for the past 2 months. I feel like when I use this, I usually use 2 pumps, and I mean, you can see that this is like 2 pumps for every time I use this is pretty good. I don't love this product. I don't hate this product, so let's be clear here. I don't love it either, though. I feel like it does kind of make my skin feel a little bit heavy throughout the day. I like the effect that this has a lot. I think it's really pretty and it leaves a really pretty glow. It just makes me feel heavy. It like feels like something is sitting on my face, and I don't love that feeling. So I am gonna continue using this, try and make my way through it. I think if I continue at this rate, 2, 3, maybe 5 months, I'll be done with this. So by the end of the year, early next year, I will be done with this completely. I do think it's nice. It is really pretty and glowy. It just feels really heavy on my skin, especially when I am oily, like drenched in sweat, things like that. Still made a lot of good progress. I am hoping to make more progress soon, and you know, this one's just kind of going as I expected it to go. The next product here is the Kaja Gloss Shot, and I feel like I've made a pretty good amount of progress between the last 2 months. I know last month I didn't make a mark because I lost this. I could not find it. I eventually found it in like my Camelback bag. So anyway, this is getting pretty close to the end. I feel like I'm starting to have to scrape the sides. Similar to the Euphoria BYO blush oil, I think I'm going to try and get 1 more month's use out of this. I'm not trying to fully scrape out like every single last drop of this product, but I do think I have a little bit more use out of this. I feel like at the end of this month, I should be able to call it quits on this, like for realsies. I think that this lip gloss is fine. It's just a lip gloss. I have nothing against it. I have made quite a bit of progress since putting this in my project pan, but I just feel like there's a little bit more progress that I can make. This is in the shade Pink Drip, by the way. I don't think I said that. This is pretty good progress between the last 2 months. I'm hoping that this next month I'll be able to make even more progress and then be able to call it quits. Again, I'm not trying to like fully scrape out all of the last little droplets of this, but I do want to make more progress, and I think I have the capability of doing that. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I would repurchase this gloss, to be honest. It's pretty, but I have a ton of glosses in my collection that I think are either like more nourishing or just feel nicer on my lips, and so I don't hate this. I just don't think I'd repurchase it when I finish it up. So those are all the products that I currently have in my project pan that I've been working on for a while, for the last couple of months at the very least. I am going to pull in a couple more products to put in my project pan, just because I do feel like I can make pretty good progress on this, and I want to. So the first thing that I have here is my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz. This is currently looking like this. It's not too bad, actually. I feel like I am kind of seeing the ring of where the bottom of the pan is. This is not new to my collection. This is pretty old, actually. The shadow itself is getting pretty dry, and so I want to try and hit pan on this. I think that is the goal, is to hit pan. I don't know how long that's going to take me. I feel like maybe a while, just because I am only using this on my eyelids, like it's a super shock shadow. I'm not using it as a highlighter or anything like that, but I do feel like I can see the pan, and I've heard from the internet, from the interwebs, that these are actually surprisingly easy to pan, just because the pans are pretty flat in here. I can't see it, so I don't know for sure, but I do feel like I would be able to make significant progress on this, especially because these like type of eyeshadow toppers are usually my go-to when I do wear eyeshadow. So I have the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ritz that I'm going to pull in. Both of these next products I have pulled into my project before and then ended up pulling them out when I met my goal on them, and now I am bringing them back in to fully use up the product. So the first thing I have here is my e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. This is in the shade Forever Sunkissed. especially with my skin tone right now. Honestly, this is probably my skin tone. Like, I am much tanner than I usually am. I feel like this on me is pretty light. Like, it almost looks a little bit ashy, I'm not gonna lie. But I do have this in my collection. I do want to fully use up the pan. The pan in here isn't super massive, so I do feel like I have a long way to go with this still. But I think my goal for this would be to hit side pan at the very least. I'm not sure if I want to fully try and use this up. I think side pan is probably my best bet right now. If when I do hit side pan, I decide I want to fully use it up, I am more than willing to do that. Just for right now, I don't want to commit myself to fully trying to use this up when I know that there's just a lot of product in here still, and because of my skin tone right now, this may or may not work for me super well. So that is the product that I'm pulling in. And then the last product I'm gonna pull in is actually my Kosas Cloud Set in the shade Cushiony. So the packaging of mine broke a really long time ago, and technically when I finished this the first time, I didn't actually finish this. I had dropped this and then all of the powder shattered over the, like, all of the powder shattered behind the toilet, and I felt kind of gross about using that. So this is the remnants of what was left from when I dropped it. There is pan. There's technically pan right there. You can see it. There is not a ton of product in here left, but if you guys watched my series while I was panning this took absolutely forever. I used this every single day and I saw no progress with it whatsoever. So I am hoping that because it's already so low, we're going to see more progress than I typically would. This is what it's looking like right now. I'm hoping that I will make a lot of progress in the next couple of months. Hopefully this won't take me too long to finish this up, because it took me so long to even get to this point in the beginning. I am gonna say that it's probably gonna take me at least 6 months, maybe even like a full year to use this up. This is what it's looking like now. I feel like I have a pretty good head start on this. I am hoping that I will get even more progress on this soon. The thing with this powder is it's a little bit too light. Not light as in shade wise, light as in it doesn't mattify enough. It doesn't do enough for me. I am an oily gal. This is not for the oily gal girlies. I just feel like it doesn't do a great job of keeping my oils at bay. Even right now, I have already powdered twice, and I feel like I still look super oily, super just not mattified whatsoever. I'm not saying that it looks bad, like it is very pretty as a powder. I just need more. My skin type just needs more than this. So I find that when I do use this, I have to go in with a ton of powder, and by that point it can kind of look cakey. So hopefully I'll make a lot more progress on this. I'm hoping that, you know, it'll show more progress. I think at the very least I can get most of the part that's broken off done really quickly. The main portion that I'm gonna need to work on is the like slight mound that I still have. So this side right here that I have a lot more powder for. I am not super excited about this, but I do want this out of my collection. I do feel like it's time to get this out of my collection, and so I'm hoping that putting this back in my project pan will get me there faster. That is everything in my project pan. I'm hoping that some of these products will be done really soon. I still have quite a ways to go with some of the other products, but I'm hoping at the very least that these two products will be done by next month. I am optimistic about that. I feel like I'm not super obsessed with either of these products, and honestly, I think even if I don't make a ton of progress, I might call it good anyway by next month. We'll play that by ear. I'm not committing to that yet. I just don't think that I want these in my collection for much longer. You know, I have so much in my collection. I feel like this would be really easy to finish up, call good, put in another product to work on. So that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already. I post a new project pan update every single month, so stay tuned if you want to keep up with this. I also have a project pan playlist with literally every single video that I have done in my project pan. So if you watch through that, you'll be able to see all of the beginning progress. You guys will probably be able to find when I had these two in my project pan originally. There's a lot to go. I think this is like the 27th, 28th project pan video that I've done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!